Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Battle Brothers Season 3. As today, with the Obrokk rolling out, we now turn our attention back towards more mortal affairs, such as, for example, our current ambitions to trade 25 trade goods. Buying or purchasing should both count. And beyond that, as I think I stated last time, I think our next goal, if it pops up, will be to finally secure a noble alliance. So I think today we'll go ahead and start sort of laying groundwork to kill two birds with one stone, both whittling away at our current trading ambition, but then also taking on more noble contracts than usual. So we'll be one step closer to completing the next ambition down the line. And then beyond that, we've still got a couple of perks in the queue, so let's go ahead and get that taken care of. Starting with Giannis, whom I hesitated on last time because I don't think we're ready to lock him in on a specific weapon just yet, though I do like the cleaver, and he doesn't have the fatigue for Berserk. But Kill Frenzy's a pretty safe bet. That one doesn't actually need fatigue. And then Mark, you know, I've been sitting on this one for a while. No one ever really seemed to feel all that strongly about it. So after considering our options, and given that, you know, we've never really run into any significant fatigue issues, I think we'll risk skipping recovery. And while footwork is tempting, that's also kind of a fatigue sink, so I think instead we'll go with bags and belts. That way he'll have some actual options if he ends up getting pinned down in melee. You know, we can have a pocket shield and then some other low fatigue melee weapon. We've got a couple cluttering up our inventory, so you know this will also free up some space. Generally speaking, he doesn't need to be able to outright kill someone in melee combat. He just needs to be able to hold out an extra round or two, whilst we wait for one of the other brothers to come to his assistance. So honestly, even just having a pocket shield on hand will really help with that. That's it. Let's see what we've got on tap. You find Count Radolf von Goswin staring over some scrolls. He glances up at you and offers a chair. Glad you're here, mercenary. I've got an issue with greenskins in these parts. They made camp southeast from here. He lowers one of the scrolls. And I can't afford to send my own men. Knights are rather unexpendable. You, however, are just right for the job. What do you say? Hey, long as I'm getting paid better than they are. And you know what? That'll do. Destroy Cave of the Ilskagul, southeast of Damwald. Damwald. So that's southwest, which would put it net south. Oh, nope. Southwest. The Cave of Ilskagul. That actually puts it in the perfect spot for a nice quick trade loop, too. We'll hit Oberberg en route, and then just kind of curve back around. I think we'll also take a slightly circuitous route out there. We'll push through Glenmore Barrows, see if any new outposts have popped up. Oh, and look at that. Retreat of the Harvester. Oof. No, I don't really want to deal with that right now. We'll let that one ripen for a while. We'll peek in on it every so often as we pass by. Yeah, pass on that too. I mean, look, it's easy XP. I just feel like there's more exciting things we could be doing with our time. Though I would do it if they had a champion. Really wish we'd run into more of those guys. We'll hang out here for a sec. Just want to get a peek at that market. Okay. Yep, we'll take those. and a light resupply. And then the armor. Noble mail. That's kind of fun. But no, I'm not really seeing anything we need. Ooh, though I will take that rondel. Yeah, we're at the stage where we have enough excess cash that I think we can just afford to start doing some basic incremental upgrades. Get some proper stabbing knives. And we're good. Okay, let's push on to the caves of Ilskagul. Hopefully should make for a halfway decent fight. After a full day's trek, the raiders finally set their sights upon the target of their employer's ire, the cave of Ilskagul, home to an irritable orc warlord, his bold position bolstered by burly berserkers and bulwarked warriors. But nothing the raiders hadn't handled before, and thus they quickly set their formation. Let's get the stabbers in on this one. Orcs are easy targets for fearsome flesh wounds. Also, orc warriors do love their knockback, so, you know, best not to take any chances with the squishier backliners. In fact, let's pull the lower level frontliners too. Orc mansplitters, nothing to sneeze at. And into the fray. Let's make short work of these green skin goons. The raider formation fell still as freshly fallen snow flecked their faces, the heavily hauberked hooligans coming into view. They had fought orcs many a time before, but that made them no less dangerous, especially those that favored the axe, which seemed to be almost every single one they were currently up against. And it didn't take long before the warlord himself, the great and mighty Obrokk, loomed into view. His own hefty axe almost looking like a toy, clutched as it was in one ham-fisted hand. Zarmal ducked in first, testing the waters with a quick jab, blade slipping up neath bulky plate. And Trip did likewise as well. Coming in on center, blade biting deep. And Drak followed in their wake, his own scimitar cleaving halfway through a bold berserker's body. And one by one, the rest of the raiders followed suit. Rax rushing in towards center, eyes set on Obrokk beyond. A few of the other raiders landing light hits as they advance, though nothing particularly telling. Berlin circled on south, Mal moving up more cautiously at his back. And Zarmal let loose, a flurry of blows, repeatedly perforating a primitive plunderer. Trip doing likewise a little further down the line. Drak hacked, The bold berserker losing life and limb, though not necessarily in that order. And Rax waded in. A hefty swing cleaving through bones both worn and born. Blood pulsing from the ragged wound. Whilst the rest of the raiders simply whittled. Carving away at the crude cuirass to get to the comparatively tender flesh beneath. Obrokk circled, and now was sent reeling back. Another war-forged warrior wading forth. Rax was sent reeling as well. Knocked back twice, arrow suddenly imperiled. Though not for long, that orc has placed himself in a very bad position. And so it goes. The northmost orc now near death, courtesy of Zarmal's knife. The raiders refocus their ire, all those within reach now wailing upon the one in their midst. Its courage quickly crumbles, armor tattered, flesh torn. And the raiders turn their attention back towards others. Verlin holds the south, definitely the raider at most risk. Oof, as evidenced by the nearly sheared shield. Rax removes a reticent ruffian's right arm. Sigmar slays a savage. Obrokk advances, Verlin violently shoved back. But alas, too little, too late for at least half his horde. Three trying to flee, two dying to escape. And the raiders start wrapping things up. Aside from Obrokk himself, there's not too much to fear left on the battlefield. The one with the man-splitter, perhaps, but he's held back thus far. And there he goes. Rax attacks, shearing in the air. The warrior's friends want to flee, but he just won't hear it. Sigmar slices the scapula. Lout left lopsided. And more mobs make their moves, one taking a light ribbing. Rook removes the remaining man-splitter, then circles south. And it's all but over. Oh, sure, Obrokk himself is still fighting, but that won't last long. As the final Berserker bows out. And the rest of his warriors are rousted. Trip swinging in behind. Rax removing yet another limb. And yeah, it's pretty much over. Obrokk might get in another hit or two, but he'll freak out once his friends all die or flee. Speaking of which, Drak drops one, Rax another. Zarmal nails the last on North. And the rest of the Raiders rally. One random foe sent flailing to his knees. Oh, Obrokk, buddy. You know, he could have actually done some damage if he weren't so violently fixated on Verlin. Especially if he'd kept trying to split his shield. But, you know, no one ever accused orcs of being smart. That's really more of a goblin thing. One last stab, and Obrokk is undone. The orcs eliminated with relative ease. Seymore pausing to pontificate upon what has transpired. And nothing all that notable on loot. We'll get a pretty penny for the orc weapons, but not much else. With the orcs slain, you take a look around their camp. It's full of shite. Literally, shite is everywhere. The damn things don't know a thing about cleanliness. Verlin Dane waddles up, wiping his boot on a tent post. Scapegrace, shall we move on or keep looking? You've seen and smelled enough. Time to collect our pay. Right after we do some quick reshuffling. And of course, bump up Seymore's level. Which I think is he up to soft cap? I want to say this is his first legacy level. Let me have a look. Oh, no, he just hit soft cap. Okay. Well, let's have a look at our last stat ups. All right, okay. I mean, it could have certainly been better, but it also could have been worse. Oof, that melee's not great. Decent defense, though. You know, he would have made a pretty solid shieldman. But we've already got 3. Yeah, alright. You know what? We can't really skip the melee, so we'll take that. We'll take the defense. Man, would have been nice if we'd gotten one last bump on fatigue, but I guess we'll take the initiative. I mean, we could also use the resolve, but I'll take the 4 points over 3. And then as far as perks go, what are we actually missing here? Oh, Fearsome. Did I never give him Fearsome? Yeah, let's go ahead and set that to right. I will say, you know, not the greatest numbers, but workable. Hard to say if he'll really survive some of the harder fights ahead, but I guess we'll see. I mean, he certainly made it this far. You come across a man who is kneeling over a dead dog. He probes the snout with a long stick and nods. As you can tell, I am a famed anatomist. Turning his head up like some creepy puppet, he claims that the RetconRaiders is slowly becoming renowned for its studious work, and that he wishes to join. Yeah, sure, why not? Ah, it's good to be with my intellectual equals again. Blah-bitty blah blah blah, says Hans, the greedy ferret of a man. I mean, let's be honest, it's not like we really need another anatomist. But that is a very fine hat. One sec, let me take this over to Damwald and work some logistics. Help get Hans settled in. And we're back. Hans had to go now. His planet needed him. But he did leave us with a few keepsakes, and we've now got Alois gussied up, looking like a right proper witch hunter. Let's hit Helvik, then get back to Agerstead. Oof, warehouse fire. So expect high prices. Oh, yeah. That's pretty rough. Full 50% markup. But, you know, we'll take the hit. Still counts towards our ambition. Also, one skull contract on tap. Not a big deal now, but might be useful later. For now, let's end our loop in Agerstead. Though perhaps we'll see a target of opportunity along the way. Nope, all clear. Time to get paid. You return to Count Radolf and report your doings. He waves you off. Oh, please, Sellsword. I already know. You don't think I have spies in these parts? He gestures towards a satchel on the corner of his table. You take it, and the man flicks his wrist. That should be thanks enough. Now please, leave my sight. Happily. Honestly, not a bad payday, considering how smooth it all went. And we've got a one skull on tap. Road Patrol. Common Beast Hunt. Not sure what else that might be. We'll take that Rondel. Again, incremental upgrades. And yeah, why not? Let's see what we've got. You find Baron Sorrel von Goswin turning a helve in hand. The demarcation between handle and where the blade should have been is clearly splintered, showing a decisive end to the weapon's use. The man throws it on his table and claps sawdust off his palms. Beasts are roaming these parts, and I need someone of your stock to slay them all. What say you, The pay will be by the head. To start your hunt, head to the region of Witchmount Hills to the southwest. All manner of lesser beasts are being a nuisance there. I mean, I would have preferred something a bit more beastly. Shrot, lindworms, hexen, perhaps. We need potions from all three. But we could also use direwolf pelts, webneck silk, maybe a few Noxera parts. Witchmount Hills, southwest. Oh, yeah. We know that spot. Maybe we'll hit Loudstad up while we're down there. Perhaps go as far east as Westerholz. Load up on more lumber. See if we can perhaps shake our resident boyer's pet project loose. And yes, we'll go ahead and take these guys out en route as well. Handful of chosen, some actual hardened targets. Though I think the rookies can probably handle it. In fact, you know what? Given that chosen are essentially just orc warriors light, let's do without the shieldmen entirely. We'll bring in the stabbers. See how they fare. Barely out of Agerstead, the RetconRaiders swiftly received a reminder as to the perils of the north. Stumbling upon a heavily armed and armored group of aggressors menacing a merchant, the raiders quickly intervened, the shieldmen hanging back, keeping the caravan safe. And as per usual, their foolish foes were too feeble-minded to realize they were thoroughly outclassed, rushing forth to meet their doom, which the raiders happily dispensed. A few flesh wounds, and then Mel murked the first. The rest of the raiders rushing in, eager to claim their own kills. Zarmal stuck a savage betwixt the ribs, digging it in to make sure he really got the point. Val finished the first, running him through. Arrow having slightly less luck. And Alois finished the second. A grim specter of death, shrouded in gun smoke. Sigmar sliced a throat, head barely staying attached, with Rook rectifying that slight error. And the chosen engaged. They're really just the one. Kind of expected more. Trip disarmed another dastard on south. Zarmal blocking a flanker on north. And the last met by Valin's sheer violence, twice impaled. The warrior beside him, absolutely gutted. Random snap to Sledge Wielder's arm. And Alois ended one more. The chosen wavered, only now realizing their mistake. But much too late. They simply didn't have the stomach for this kind of fight. They were spilling their guts all over the place. And losing their heads. A clever cleaver clove a cad. and the fight was all but done. A mere 2 remained, both heavily armed, but not particularly eager. A few more hits, and the first turned to run. The second still stubbornly fighting on. Oof. But, you know, then he cracked and decided to scramble after all. Really should have just let it be over easy. And thus it ends, the final foe felled, not by blade, but by blood loss, his body leaking like a sieve. The raiders soon rummaging through ragtag pockets, picking over the choicer bits of gear. And then they were on their way, once again setting their sights to the south. A fair bit of scrap in tow. Handed off to Erie, of course, for some quick and lucrative repairs. All right, let's head for the hills. With a quick pit stop in Oberberg, though I don't think they've actually reset anything just yet. Yeah, pretty much the same thing we saw last time we passed through. I should probably just go ahead and sell this stuff. We bought it at such a markup, we're not apt to make a profit. But, you know, again, it was all for the ambition, not for the monetary reward. Nah, we'll sit on it for now. We're not really hurting on space. Worst case scenario, we can swing through Lounstead if we need to. Honestly, I'd kind of prefer if we did. But we will see. Really comes down to exactly what we encounter out here. And we're already making tracks. Direwolves, nice. We do have several new sets of armor in dire need of pelts. Also, something else. Ah, barbarians. Nice. I mean, pretty pushover of a fight, but we are right here. We might as well. And thus the purge begins. The raiders hit the Witchmount Hills running, only to quickly find themselves intercepted. Swiftly taking a stand, they met the foam-flecked ferals face to face. There wasn't much to unpack. They liked their chances. And Sigmar struck first. Mark finally finishing it off. Bowman buried one more. Then a third for good measure. And the rest of the raiders held at the ready, knowing their foes were a bit more agile. Easier to let them take the lead. I do think, if we end up doing a Season 4, that I might make Pathfinder party standard, take it across the board. Just kind of remove difficult terrain entirely from the equation. Perhaps in place of Colossus. Tommy tagged another flanker. Mark mutilating malicious smuts. Sigmar slaughtered one of the wounded. Giannis dissuaded yet one more. Mal met one on the bleeding edge. But Seymore cut it short. And just like that, the fight was all but over. The feral fiends already half unpacked. As displayed by Zarmal. Well, a third, I suppose. Slight overstatement. But you get the idea. These poor guys don't really stand much of a chance. Oh yeah, I mean, that's two broken right there. Make that three. That one's just dead. Fifth gets the shaft. And the sixth. Seven slain. Eight is over. And we're done. Yeah, okay, so this contract might be a bit of a breeze, but the important thing is, you know, we're still getting something out of it. To the tune of 2 level ups and 4 pelts. Let's see more. Oh, wow, he basically maxed out every single roll. That... Well, I mean... Yeah, you know what? Actually, it's pretty easy. We definitely need to up that resolve, so we'll grab melee, we'll grab MDef, and we'll take the resolve, which gets him up towards bare minimum at 50. He'll need at least one more advance. And as for his perk, once again, I am liking the Bardish. I'm just not sure we want to lock that in. So I think... Oh, Fearsome, right. That'll leave us 4 more slots to play with. 9, 10, and 2 more at 11. And as for Cetrus, pretty straightforward. He hits level 13, which is just a straight-up legacy level. So, melee, MDef, and... let's start rounding things out. I think we're okay on RDef. Honestly, this is mostly just for me. I like nice, even numbers. Yeah, I'll indulge. Who's going to stop me? All right, and we've got a few minutes left. Let's knock out this last group. A baker's dozen of barbarians. Obviously, barely a speed bump, but again, we're already here. Might as well. We'll make this quick. No sooner had the raiders finished crying wolves than yet more foes fell into their view. And once again, they gave chase, intent on keeping the road safe, regardless of how beastly a foe might be. And this skirmish, of course, was predictably sad. The savages still gave it their all, rushing forth, sharpened antlers swinging, javelins poised to throw, and of course the reavers rushing into the fray, only to be met by might unmatched. Sigmar surging forward, Random sensing their approach. Giannis cutting right in. Rook pierced an ear, the cartilage torn and tattered. Mal removing the source of the pain. It was all in his head. Seymore claiming 1.5 kills, with Cetrus picking up the spare. And so on it goes. The Raiders running roughshod over these unrepentant rapscallions. With even the drummer taking his hits. Ooh, gut shot. There's one you don't see very often. And the barbarians pushed back, at least as best they could. A few paltry hits here and there. None finding their way through even the flimsiest of the Raiders' armor. And then they were undone. One falling before Zarmal. Another under Valen, a third rendered breathless by the display. Sigmar severed a head. Random swept the south. Something something eardrum? Yeah, we're pretty much done. We'll just wrap it up. Oh, yep, there he goes. The beat finally ceased, in more ways than one. And yeah, we're done. That was about as easy as I think we all figured it would be. With a level up for Mal, which makes it all worth it. Though I will take tribal trinkets, if there are some in offing. You know, not bad for like 5 minutes work. Perhaps not the most exciting way to end an episode, but the drum beats on. Oh, nice. Mal hit soft cap. Which means Killing Frenzy, no question there. And let's get a gander at those numbers. Ooh. You know, kind of middle of the road, could be worse. We'll go melee, we'll go MDef. And then either resolve or initiative. And I think between the two, we've got to go resolve. +5 initiative is tempting, but we haven't really been advancing him there anyway. So it would be a bit too little too late. And we can always use more resolve. Alright, alright. I think that's where we call it. You know, 4 fights deep, nothing too involved this time out. I think the orcs up front were our real headline fight. But, you know, we got plenty of level ups, we got some decent loot. And we got some really nice fancy duds for Alois. I am really happy with that look. As ever, I do strive to help differentiate one raider from the next. And that definitely did the trick. That said, we'll hit the pause button for now. I will take care of the usual off-screen bookkeeping. And we will pick up here next time. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Eerie V23, Revenant, Alois, Arrow Bowman, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.